What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Alpha Kilo MMA. Today, I want to talk about the fights that were announced from Dana White late last night, actually. Alex Pereira is the co-main event for UFC 295, the Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic card, MSG, New York City, UFC 295 in November. It was already a really good card, and that co-main is really going to be, I think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be an action fight. And then we also were got the announcement that Colby Covington is going to be fighting Leon Edwards on the last pay-per-view of the year, the last pay-per-view of 2023. Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards, Vegas, UFC 296, and the co-main event for that one is Alexandra Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. So those are two really good fights, or three really good fights that Dana announced. But I'm just going to talk about the two big ones that everyone's really talking about. First, I'll go over the Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka fight first. So that fight, for me, that's an action fight. On paper, it's a complete action fight. You got Yuri, who is very unorthodox in his striking. He doesn't have typical striking. It's not very, I guess, good foundationally, in terms of, typical ones and twos and all that stuff. But he's very unorthodox. He moves a lot, and his offense is very nuts and crazy, and you don't know what he's going to throw next. But the downside to him is that he gets hit a lot. He got hit a lot in the Glover Teixeira fight, the fight of the year, in 2022, I believe, in Singapore. He got hit a lot in that fight, and Glover rocked him bad early in the fifth round, and for some reason, I don't know why, jumped guillotine when he did not have to. So for whatever reason, he did that, but he got Yuri hurt. And so point being, Yuri is hittable. And with a guy like Alex, who also is coached and mentored by Glover Teixeira, he's worked on his ground game. He's worked on his, his striking for MMA purposes. He's always had good striking, but I think this is going to be a really good fight on paper. Honestly, if I was to give an early prediction, I would say that I have probably Alex winning. I think one of them is going to get knocked out. I'm going to say it's going to be Alex by round two knockout. I think he knocks him out and he becomes two-division champion. Like I said in my last Alex Pereira video, what he has done, if he is able to climb the ranks of light heavyweight, beating a guy like Blachowicz, beating a guy like Yuri Prochazka, one of the most dangerous and feared guys that division's ever seen. Very unorthodox, like I said. But if he's able to beat him, I mean, we got to really start talking about Alex as one of the top guys that this sport's ever seen. I mean, to do that, if he does pull that off, I mean, it would be phenomenal. I think I got Alex winning that fight. I would love to see him win. Maybe if they do the rematch with Izzy and Sean for the middleweight belt, maybe they can do Izzy moves up to middleweight and challenges for the moves up to light heavyweight, I should say, and challenges Alex for his light heavyweight belt, and that could be the trilogy for that, and that would sell astronomical amount of numbers. But so that's my early prediction for that fight. Now moving on to what I'm really excited about. I'm a huge Colby Covington fan. Me and a couple of my friends that I usually watch UFC with, at least three of them, or two of us, really like Colby. And that's going to be a great card in general. They're going to probably go all out for the last pay-per-view of the year. They usually try to end it off with those last three pay-per-views. Abu Dhabi, MSG, and then Vegas are usually really, really good cards. So I'm really excited for this main event, because if Colby is able to win, that completes the prophecy of Sean winning, Sean O'Malley, I should say, and then Sean Strickland, and then Colby Covington. If all three of those guys are champions by the end of 2023, I mean, that would be fucking something unreal. But to get into that, I think this is going to be a hard fight for Colby. This is going to be a really hard fight, because on paper, Colby gave Usman his toughest, when Usman was a champion, he gave Colby his toughest fights. And I think even though Leon has beaten Usman twice, there's a different level to what I think Colby brings than to Usman. Usman, yeah, he has pressure and he puts a pace on people, but it's kind of calculated. It's way more calculated than Colby, and that's why I think when Colby fought Usman twice. First was in 2019. In 2019, he lost by KO, but that fight was 2-2. And one of the judges had a 3-1 Colby going into that final round. So he was on his way to winning, but then he got knocked out. Credit to Usman, he knocked him out in the last round. But he was able to knock him out, and then he arguably, I was in attendance for the one at MSG, the second fight between Usman and Colby, and arguably, you can argue that should have been a tie. Because I thought rewatching it, not live, rewatching it when I got home, I thought it was Usman won rounds 1 and rounds 2. I thought he 10-8'd him in round 2 because he dropped him twice and had him hurt really bad. But I thought Colby won 3, 4, and 5. So I thought it was a tie. At the very least, and some could argue that Colby won. So Colby has given Usman, when he was the champion, his toughest fights. In the first Leon fight, Usman didn't really have a really hard time with. He didn't have a hard time with Leon. That was full credit to Leon. He was able to knock him out in the 5th round when everyone thought he was down and out. Like the announcers were writing him off. One of the greatest moments in MMA history, honestly. That knockout from Leon was legendary. It really was. Now, going into the second fight, the rematch between them, what happened was Leon, I thought Usman won I'm trying to think about it. It was very close. I think Leon won a majority decision. So it was close, but Leon got the win, and it is what it is. So it was closer than that, but arguably, Usman's toughest fights were against Colby. And Leon, I think this is going to be a tough fight in the striking department for Colby. Colby is not the best striker, but his strikes work well for what he wants to do. He wants to get you down to the mat. He wants to grind it out. He wants it to be fast paced, but he wants to just grind against the fence, take you down, suffocate you, with the, threatening submissions and the ground and pound and everything like that. He wants to do all that. So he's going to try to get it to the ground. I don't see it being any different. He's not going to try to strike with them, even though he's fought strikers before, like Jorge Masvidal, like someone like Robbie Lawler. So you can sort of count RDA in there too, but the only concern I have with Colby going into this fight is just the inactivity. Now, we all know about the whole situation after the Masvidal fight, where Masvidal and him got into an altercation outside, and that led to police and all this shit like that. Reported brain damage, that Colby suffered. So, it was just a lot of inactivity from Colby over the last almost a year since he fought? No, maybe, almost 2 years actually, since he fought. So it's going to be a long layoff. He had a long layoff when he fought Usman, before he fought Usman the second time. So he's kind of used to these long layoffs, but I don't know. To me, he always looks like he's always prepared for fights. He's always well trained. He always has the cardio. The cardio is his biggest weapon. And I think he has a legit shot of pulling this off. Now, to talk about Leon is very dangerous. Leon is very dangerous on the feet. He has very good striking. Very good. He has good takedown defense too. He was actually able to take Usman down. And now they say that was the first takedown that Usman has ever let up. That's DC on commentary said, or after the fight, the second Usman fight, he said that Colby took him down. That is a 2-point takedown in wrestling. So if I'm going to go with the All-American, or not the All-American, the Olympian wrestler who said Colby took him down. So Colby got the first takedown on Usman, but whatever. Leon was able to take him down, and he was able to kind of hold him there for round 1 of the first fight. So, which was kind of cool to see, but he has good. He's not going to look to wrestle Colby. He's going to try to be able to defend the takedown, get him. He's going to try to stay away from the cage, get off the cage, and try to keep him away with the kicks and everything like that. So keep him at range and all that stuff. So it's going to be an interesting fight. It's not going to be a hard. it's going to be a very hard fight for Colby, and it's going to be a hard fight for Leon too. Now, just to wrap this up, I see a lot of people talking about, oh, Belal should have got this, or Shavkat. Now, but mainly people are talking about Belal. So my only issue is when people talk about Belal getting the shot over, he should have got the shot over Colby. Now, what I have to say to this is recently he's beaten top guys, but he has lost to Leon Edwards. And yeah, granted, it was a tie, or no contest, I should say, because of the eye poke and all that shit. So, but he was losing that fight. He was getting dominated, and his only wins, really, yeah, he's on a 10-fight unbeaten streak, but he was able to. He wasn't able to get really anything going in that fight against Leon, so why should he get the title shot? I think he should fight Shavkat. If he beats a prospect like that, that's a statement win, and that makes him the number one contender. So if he's able to beat a guy like Shavkat Rakhmonov, the best prospect at welterweight, one of the best prospects in the UFC, he should be next. But right now, he's only beaten Sean Brady, who was a prospect, it was a pretty highly touted one. I think he was ranked 10th when he beat him, but then he beat Gilbert Burns. And Gilbert Burns, yeah, he won handily, but Burns was injured, in round one. It wasn't really that good of a fight, and I think Belal needs one more solid win to be able to get that shot. So people that are complaining that Belal should get that shot, I don't agree with that at all. So, but we have some great fights coming down the pipeline to end 2023. I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, hopefully it all lives up to the hype, because there's nothing worse than having such anticipation going into the final stretch of the year with Makhachev and Oliveira Part 2, and then we got Jones and Miocic, as well as Alex Pereira and Yuri, Colby and Leon, all that to end the year. I mean, let's just hope they're good fights and it all turns out, everyone's healthy, and we just get some great high quality violence. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you guys get updated when I post new videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that shit. Really helps me out. I want to grow this channel, bring more high quality and more better videos. Watch me grow with you guys. It means a lot. So, and also make sure you follow me on social media. All my socials are going to be in the description down below. So like I said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.